Okay. So this is the Turbos editor screen. Is this screen visible? So here I have written so is the Turbos screen visible for all of you? Oh, fine. So I have written the program which from which we can understand the break statement concept. So just look at this program. So in this program, so I have taken the variable I and its initial value is 1. Okay, and if you look at the condition, so I less than or equals to 10. Okay, so that means see, you have to look at the initial value, okay, and final value both. So initial value of I is 1, okay, and final value of I is 10. And how many times it is increasing each time? That is I plus plus. So I plus plus means it will increase by 1. See, I plus plus is nothing but I is equals to I plus 1. So each time it will increase by 1. Okay. So it has to reach the value 10. So when it reaches 11, the condition will become false. So actually 10 times it should execute, and say I have done the COUT statement here. So each time it should print the value. So I value should be printed each time. Okay. So actually from 1 to 10 it has to print, but due to this break statement, so when I value reaches 6, so I is equals to 6, the program control will come out of the while loop. So that we will observe. Okay. So look here. See, it has printed from 1 to 5. So actually it should print from 1 to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But it is printing only from 1 to 5 because you just look at this condition in the while loop. If I is equals to 6, the statement is break. Okay. So only it will stop working. While loop will stop working. So now we will trace the program. You can just look and see one more thing. I will just comment these 2 lines and I will test it. So we'll come to know if the break statement is not there, then program control will not stop. That is, it will not stop the loop. So it will print 1 to 10. You just observe here. See, 1 to 10 numbers is printed. That means there is no break keyword. Okay, so it is printed 1 to 10. Now, if this is uncommented, that means if it is not a comment, if it starts working, so it will print only from 1 to 5. Okay, you just observe this program control. See here. 1 to 5. Now we will trace the program. Say main function. Okay, then I is equals to 1, clear screen. So I less than or equals to 10. So 1 less than or equals to 10, condition is 2. You can observe the I value here. Say I value is 1. On the top right corner it is visible. I value is 1. Okay. Next. So that I value is printed. Okay. So I plus plus means I is equals to I plus 1. So from 1, the I value will become 2. Okay, you just observe here. So I value is 2. You just observe on the top right corner. So I value is 2. So here it will check the condition. Is I is equals to 6? No. I is not equals to 6 because I value is 2 here. So break statement will not execute. So if it doesn't execute, again it will start from the first. That is, we'll check the condition again. So 2 less than or equals to 10. Condition is true. COUT statement, it will print the value. Okay. Okay. So I plus plus means I value will be increased by 3. Again, it will check whether I value is equal to 6 or not. So if I is equals to 6, that means I value is 3 here. 3 equals to 6. Condition is false because I value is not 6, right? So break statement will not execute. So again, it will check the condition. Okay. COUT I, it will print the value of I. Okay. Next, I plus plus. Okay. So when I plus plus statement is executed, so I value will be increased by 1. So I becomes 4. So 4 is not equals to 6. So again, it will start from the condition. Okay. So it will print the value of I, that is 4. Okay. Again, I equal to I plus 1, that is I plus plus, I value will become 5. So is 5 equals to 6? No. So break statement will not execute. Okay, so it will start from the first again. I plus plus. See here, you have to observe I value will become 6. You just observe the top right corner. So I value will become 6. See I value is 6. So 6 equals to 6. Condition is true. If I is equals to 6, in that place it substitute 6. That is I value is 6. 6 equals to 6. Condition is true. So if the condition is true, statement immediately following the condition will be executed. That is break statement is executed. So when break statement is executed, again it will not move back to the condition. It will come out of the loop. See. So after the break keyword, it comes to get CH. So it will not move to the condition. Okay. So it will print from 1 to 5. That's all. I hope people have understood. So just chat and tell whether you got this concept or not. Or should once again I should trace the program. Is it fine, or should I trace the program once again? Okay, fine. It's clear. Okay, we will move for the further concept. So in this program, these two statements you have to understand. So once I value becomes a 6, break statement is executed. So once break statement is executed, program control will directly come to this statement, that is get ch statement. Okay. So next statement in jump or conditional statement is go to statement. Okay, go to. See, we have the keywords that is break. Okay, continue, go to, return. Okay, these are the keywords. These are called as keywords as well as state. So what type of statements means? These are jump, or we can call it as unconditional statements. Jump or unconditional statements. That means, so whenever we say there is a transfer of program control from one part of the program to another part, either we have to say the program control is transferred because of the condition or without any condition. See, when I tell if else, okay, and else if, in all these cases, in case of if else if, in all these cases we write a condition. So based on the condition, program control will be transferred from one part of the program to another part. But in case of break, continue, go to, and return, program control will be transferred from one part of the program to another part without a condition. So here condition is not required actually. So it is called as unconditional. Unconditionally there is a transfer of program control. But still we write a condition because, see, simply we cannot say break. Okay, see, simply when we start taking the class, simply I cannot say there is a break now. So there will be time limit. So up to some time we have to take the class, then the bell will ring, there will be break, and there will be some reason for that also. Similarly here also, simply you cannot say break or simply you cannot say continue. Especially in case of break, it will work because, see, just now we have discussed. If I write a condition I less than or equal to 10, see, you print the value of 5, okay, then without writing a condition also, if you say break, it will work. But there will be no use in the sense we will not come to know why we are using. Okay, if we are getting some application, then we can say there is usage of break statement. Program will work for understanding purpose. You can write this small program. If I want to know how break statement will work in the program, you can write this. So what happens? You check the condition. I plus plus I value will be increased. I value will be printed. Next will come out of the loop. Okay, just will come out of the loop without checking the condition again. Even though this condition is still true, it will not continue. That means this will not execute many times, only one time it is executed. And just now we have discussed the program. Before writing the break, I have used if I is equal to 6. That means let it print from 1 to 5. When it reaches 6, then it should break. That means from 6 to 10, it should not print. So there I'm giving some reason. Okay, that means I don't want to print from 6 to 10. I want to print only from 1 to 5. So I have to write the condition. If I is equal to 6, then only okay. So if I don't write the condition, what happens? Okay, if I don't write the condition, then it prints only one time, that is 1, it will break. Program control will stop. Okay. Okay. So this is the output break. And in case of continue also, see here. In case of continue, what happens? If you write the word continue, instead of coming out of the loop, it will move back to the loop. That is the opposite of it. Instead of terminating the loop, it will start from the first. So you again go to the condition. Here also, if you don't write the condition, what happens? See, if I say I is equals to 1, so 1 less than or equals to 10, the condition will be true. Okay, value 1 is printed. And if you write continue statement inside the while without a condition, so again we are telling to continue. So where it has to go? That is condition. So again, same value is tested. 1 less than or equals to 10. Again, one more time 1 is printed. So many times the program control moves back to the condition. I value will be same. So it will keep on printing number 1, infinite number of times. It will not stop only because you are telling each line continue the loop. See, unless and until this continue statement is used with condition, so this looping statement will execute infinite number of times. So only before this keyword continue, just you write the condition. If I is equal, so if I not equals to say 5, then continue. Some condition. Okay, we have displayed a divisible numbers divisible by 5, like that. Okay, some condition. Okay, next. Coming to the go to statement. So by using the go to keyword, we transfer program control from one part of the program to another part, again unconditionally, without writing any condition. So just similar to break and continue, here also we should write condition to stop that. Okay, unnecessary, the program control should not be transferred from one part of the program to another part. So we have to use the condition if condition to stop that. Okay. So similarity between go to, break, continue and return is for all these keywords. There is a transfer of program control from one part of the program to another part without requirement of condition. So without any condition. This is a similarity. Okay. Similarity in the sense, what is the same property? The same property of all these keywords is there is a transfer of program control from one part of the program to another part. Okay, that is go to keyword. Okay, then break keyword, continue, all these things, same properties. There is a transfer of program control from one part of the program to another part without requirement of condition. Okay, and in case of breaks, it will end the loop. Okay, it will end the loop. In case of continue, it will begin the loop. So this difference you have to notice. So ending the loop or beginning the loop is nothing but transfer of program control only. So this program control will be transferred from outside the loop. That means it will come out of the loop. It will go to the beginning of the loop. So that is the meaning of there is a transfer of program control from one part of the program to another part. So coming to the return statement. Okay. So this we will discuss in function structure. There will come. When function structure will come to know the meaning of return statement. Okay. Now we will discuss the go to statement. See, when I tell like when we use this word go to generally, so apart from programming language, so when we use this go to, if I tell go to home or go to college, go to shop, so in these cases we use the word go to. So we are mentioning some place. Okay, if I tell go to the classroom or go to computer lab, like we are mentioning the place. Similarly, in programs also in C++ program, whenever we use the word go to, we have to mention the place. So to place in the sense here, to which line the program control should be transferred. Okay, that line indicates nothing but a place, location. So we need to tell the computer the location where it has to transfer the program control. Just like in real world, we mention the place. Whenever we use the word go to, we mention the place, right? Go to college, go to home, go to shop, like that. Here also we have to mention the place. So that I will tell you how to mention the place. Okay. See, when I use the word go to, okay. So in front of go to, we have to write the label. Okay, label. And after that, we can write some statements, okay, programming statements. Then that label should be written here. Label, colon. So yeah, again some statements, right? So in this way also we can write go to statement. So another way is right. See, this label itself indicates a place. I said right. So whenever you use go to, we have to mention the place. This label indicates the place. So go to label. Here we have to mention the label with colon some statements. So in this way we can write. Or another way is you write the label first. Okay. You write all the statements here. Then you say go to label. Okay. So first you can write go to label. Then afterwards, after some statements, you can write label colon some statements. Or first one you can write label colon. See, after the label you have to write the colon. And there are some statements here. Then go to label. So this syntax also we can use. Okay. So these are nothing but program statements. So we can write the program statements. Then you can say go to label. Okay. After the label, you have to write the colon. So here the word label is the general word. Nothing but it is an identifier. Label is an identifier. So whenever I use the word identifier, you have to remember the rules of the identifiers. So to write the identifier, that is to write the label, you have to remember the rules of the identifiers. Okay, first character should not be digit, blank spaces not allowed, keywords not allowed, special characters except underscore is not allowed. These rules you have to remember compulsory. Okay, so label is an identifier, and we can write some statements here. So then go to is a keyword. Remember. So go to is a keyword. See, whatever you have discussed in first chapter, that is introduction to C++, all the concepts you have to remember. What are identifiers, what are keywords, when they are used. Here go to is a keyword, label is an identifier. After the label, you have to put the colon. Okay. So what happens is, when program control comes to this particular line, okay, when program control comes to this particular line, the program control will be transferred to this line again. Because I am telling go to label, this will act like the place. So when I tell go to college or go to work, so there we are mentioning the place, right? So this will act like the place. Program control is transferred back. So in this syntax, we can say program control is transferred back to the label, and in this syntax, program control is transferred forward. So these statements are skipped. So these statements are skipped. See, overall transfer of program control is like either statements will be skipped or statements will be repeated for execution. Okay, execution of statements will be repeated or statements will be skipped. In case of looping, statements are repeated. That means execution repeats. In case of if statement, if else, nested if, else if ladder, switch statement, statements are skipped. Okay. So in case of conditional statements, or we can say selection statements, statements are skipped. In case of looping, the statements are repeated one or more times. So here also, when we use the word there is a transfer of program control, either there will be skipping of statements or repetition of statements. So you look at this program control. When program control moves back to the label, these statements are executed again. Again, it comes here that program control will be moving back to the label. So that means what I can say, these statements will be repeated. Execution will be repeated. Okay. To stop this repetition, we have to write a condition. The first thing what you have to remember is for all these keywords like break, continue, go to, return. For all these keywords, conditions are not required actually. So that means simply if you write these keywords, those keywords will do their work. That is, break will terminate the loop, continue will start the loop, Return will transfer program control from one function to another. Go to keyword will transfer program control from one part of the program to another part. For all these, conditions are not required. Why we have to write the condition is to get the usage. In case of continue, if you don't write the condition, the program control will be transferred to the beginning of the loop infinite number of times. Program will never stop. In case of go to also, if you don't use the condition, this again, this statement keeps on repeating its execution. Program will never stop. So in case of continue and in case of go to keyword, program will not stop its execution if you don't use the condition. Understand this. In case of go to and continue, program will never stop its execution if you don't use any condition. Okay. In case of break keyword, if you don't use the condition, anyways that will terminate the loop. So just to know the working of break, you can use the break keyword without a condition. If you want particular application, their condition is required. Okay. So in case of go to, if you use this particular syntax, here if you don't use the condition also, it is okay. But you will not come to know exact usage of the go to. Okay, give the example, you will understand. Okay. You will just understand here. There is a transfer of program control from this line to wherever it finds this place, that is label, and these statements are executed, skipping these statements. Here also the program control will be transferred back to the label, and these statements are executed many number of times. That means it is repeated. So here you have to use the condition to break this loop. So this acts like a loop. Okay, this acts like a loop because program control will be transferred back, statements are executed. Okay, this acts like a loop. Now we will see one example. So based on this second syntax, we will see one example. So you can write any syntax in exam, but better write this syntax because many of the authors use this one. Because from using this syntax, we have an application to tell you. Okay. So syntax. Okay. This you can consider it as a syntax. See, after this word label, you put a colon. Here, after the label, you put a semicolon because end of the statement. Semicolon indicates end of the statement. Colon will not indicate end of the statement. That is, it is part of the statement. Okay, so whenever program control comes to the word label, go to label, program control will be transferred back to this particular statement. Okay, and again these statements are executed from statement 1 to n. So from statement 1 to n, statements are executed and program control will be transferred back. This process repeats. We can say this process will be repeated, okay, until we write a condition and make it false. So we have to intentionally make this looping to stop. Okay. Now we will discuss one example of this. Okay. So here I'll write the example. Just a minute. This is the example. So we will discuss this example with the tracing. Okay. So that is not the complete program. Okay. So this is not the complete program. It is the part of the program, and we can consider this as the example. And it's very easy. I'll tell you, very easy. So we can understand easily. Some things what you have to remember is the word loop. Loop is an identifier. If you check the rules of the identifier, it will hold good. First character should not be digit. Yes, I use the letter L. Blank space should not be there. I have not used any blank space here. And it should not be a keyword. Yes, loop is not a keyword. If you check the keywords list, it is not present. And symbol underscore can be used, and it is not compulsory. If you want, you can use. Otherwise, you can leave. But no other symbol should be used. Not use any other symbols. After the word identifier, you want to put the same whatever the name you are using here. Same name you want to use. That is, these were labels. So I can say here the word loop is a label. Okay. Now let's see how it works. Okay. See, when program control comes to this particular line, I is equals to 1, so that statement is executed. So here I will write it tracing. Okay. So I is equals to 1, so that particular statement is executed. Then you see what it is presented. See, the word loop is not printed on the screen. The word loop is not printed. Okay. Whatever the statement is present after the colon, that will be considered. So what is that statement? So that is cout I. So whenever you come across the word cout, you just make one column, say that is output screen. You just keep on writing it. Okay, that is 1. Okay. Then after cout, there is a statement called I plus plus. Okay, I plus plus means I value will be 2 because I value will be increased by 1. It becomes 2. So after I plus plus, there is a condition if I less than or equals to 5. Okay, so 2 less than or equals to 5. So this condition is true. So there is a statement called go to loop. So if there is a statement go to loop, so whenever this condition is true, program control is transferred back. This is nothing but repeat. Okay, program control is transferred back. When it transfers back, what you have to do is again you need to start from cout statement. Don't start from I is equals to 1, just start from cout statement. So cout I, so again you print the value of I, whatever it is present, that is 2. It will print 2. Okay. Fine, it will print 2. Again I plus plus is there. Okay. I value will be increased by 1. So I value becomes 3. Okay. When I value is 3, you check the condition. If I less than or equals to 3, so 3, 5. So 3 less than or equals to 5. So this condition is to go to loop. So if there is a statement called go to loop, again program control is transferred back to the loop. Okay. So if it transfers back to the loop, one more time go to say cout I. So if you print the I value here, you print 3. So then there is a condition. I plus plus. So I value will be increased by 1. I value becomes 4. So there is a condition if I less than or equals to 5. So 4 less than or equals to 5. So this condition is to go to loop. If there is word go to loop, again the program control is transferred to the loop. Loop label. Label is a the loop word is a label. So it is transferred back to the condition. So there is a statement called cout. Okay. So cout I. So I value is 4. We print the value of I, that is 4. Okay. Again I plus plus is there. So I value becomes 5. So check the condition if 5 less than or equals to 5. So 5 less than or equals to 5. So this condition is to go to loop. Again start from cout statement. So I value will be printed. Next, so I value will be increased by 1. So I value becomes 6. Check the condition if I less than or equals to 5. So 6 less than or equals to 5. Condition is false. If the condition is false, okay, so this particular statement not executed. The condition is false. Go to loop. This particular statement is not executed. So if it doesn't execute, it will stop. Only when go to loop, this statement is executed, you have to say program control is transferred back. The go to loop is not executed, it will stop. So when the statement go to loop is not executed, when the condition becomes false. So here When I value is 6, condition will be false. If the condition is false, go to loop. This statement is not executed. If that is not executed, again in the tracing, don't start writing from zero statement. You have to stop. Then only you have to stop. Okay. So this is how 1 to 5 numbers it is printed. So if you change this I value 5 value to 10 or 100, if you change to 100, 1 to 100 is printed. If you change to 200, 1 to 200 is printed. You can take the screenshot of this. Okay. So 2 minutes of view time, take the screenshot, then I will end. You just start and tell if you have completed taking the screenshot. Okay. So those who completes taking screenshot, you just keep on telling. I want to know. So all of you take the screenshot and just put a message that it is completed. So I want message from everyone. Okay, so we'll end the class. Tomorrow we'll continue.